Her father's hand hit my chest before I even understood the angle of his shadow. One shove, one thud. My back collided with the wall, rattling a frame that held a picture of a family I was never truly part of. His breath was hot, sour with certainty. "Her future matters," he snarled. "Yours never did." And behind him, my wife, arms folded, eyes cold, a smirk she tried to hide but didn't bother to erase. I didn't say a word, not when my shoulder throbbed, not when her father jabbed a finger at my jaw, not when my wife looked away like I was already irrelevant, all because I refused to cancel my job interview, a job we desperately needed, just to drive her sister to the mall. A mall. That was the moment I felt something inside me shift. Not break, no, breaking is loud. This was quieter, cleaner, like a blade sliding into place. I looked at the three of them as if observing a crime scene already gone cold. Their voices blended into a single dull echo. Anger, entitlement, disgust. It wasn't the shove, it wasn't the insult, it was the smirk. A small, satisfied curve of lips, as if she'd been waiting for this moment, as if she knew something I did not. That was when the questions began forming in the back of my mind, sharp, unwelcome, persistent. And questions always lead somewhere. Sometimes they lead exactly where someone hoped you'd never look. It started with silence, the kind she weaponized. After her father stormed out, she didn't come to me, didn't ask if I was hurt, didn't even pretend. Instead, she opened her phone, typed fast, and angled the screen away from me, a habit she never had before this year. "You ruined her day," she murmured without looking up. Her sister, the princess of their collapsing little kingdom. "The interview mattered," I said quietly. She didn't answer, just rolled her eyes like the life I was trying to build was an inconvenience to her weekend. Something tightened inside me, but I kept still. Stillness gives people confidence. Confidence makes them sloppy. Later that night, as she lay beside me scrolling, her screen lit her face from below. She smiled at something, a different smile, softer, private. I felt the shift again. "You okay?" I asked. "Fine," she said quickly, too quickly. "Just checking something." But she placed her phone face down. The suspicion didn't roar, it whispered. Little things added weight. The late-night showers, the sudden interest in girls' nights with no photos, the way her father always defended her, always attacked me. Her father, the same man who shoved me that morning with a line too sharp to be impulsive. "Your future never mattered." People speak the truth when they're angry, so I replayed his words again and again. Not because they hurt, but because they didn't. They revealed her smirk, his certainty, her secrecy. Pieces scattered, but they were starting to align. And the picture they were forming was something I knew I'd eventually have to look at, whether I wanted to or not. I didn't confront her. Confrontation feeds liars. Instead, I observed. Her phone had a new lock pattern. Her messages were cleared at night. She guarded notifications like treasure. By day, I was calm, neutral, unbothered. Inside, I moved differently, quiet, deliberate, calculating. I checked the family phone bill, innocent enough since I paid it. A number repeated itself. A pattern of calls at odd hours, short, frequent, intimate. Not her sister, not her friends. Someone else. Someone her father would protect. Someone her smirk would betray. I didn't know the name, but I didn't need it yet. Patterns tell their own stories. I looked deeper, building a timeline, cross-referencing her errands, her sister's plans, her father's sudden anger toward me in the past months. Every thread tugged another loose. I ordered a background report on the number. A simple, quiet search. No accusations, no shouting. Just data. I watched her behavior shift as my interview day approached. She suggested I skip it, said money isn't everything, said you're always stressed about work, maybe step back. Step back, or stay small, dependable, containable. Her father called me twice, reminding me not to leave the house that day. He didn't even pretend it was about helping her sister. It was about positioning, mine specifically, somewhere beneath them. The report arrived the night before my interview. I opened it slowly, methodically. The number belonged to a man 15 years older than my wife, a man who lived 30 minutes away, a man whose last name matched hers. Her cousin, estranged, hidden from conversations. Family secrets always bleed through the cracks. Their message logs, reconstructed, showed affection that did not belong between relatives. Photos, locations, nights that aligned with her Burl's trips. My pulse didn't spike, my breath didn't shorten. I felt nothing, absolutely nothing. Just the clarity of a storm that finally admits it was never rain. The next morning, I printed everything, bound it neatly, placed it on the kitchen table. When she walked in, she was already annoyed. "Can you at least pretend you care about this family?" she muttered. I slid the folder toward her. She frowned, opened it. The change in her face happened in slow motion. Color draining, lips parting, eyes widening with a fear I had never seen in her. Where did you get?" I didn't answer. I just watched. Page by page, the truth peeled her confidence away. She reached the final page. Her messages. Explicit. Undeniable. She broke before she could hide it. "Listen, I can explain," she whispered. "But explanations are for accidents, not choices." I pushed my chair back, calm, prepared. "I know," I said softly. "I've known long enough." Her tears came fast, loud, panicked, desperate. Mine never did. Her father barged in minutes later, called by her trembling voice. He saw the folder. He froze. I held his gaze, steady, level. "This is your family," I said, "not mine." He looked at his daughter, broken, shaking, and for the first time, his anger had nowhere to land. I stood. "I'll be leaving today," I continued, "before my interview." Then I delivered the cut he never expected. "I sent copies of everything to the rest of your family, the ones you still pretend to impress." His face collapsed inward, pride dissolving into dread. My wife reached for me. Instinct, not love. "Please, don't do this." I stepped back. "You already did," and I walked out. No shouting, no violence. Just the quiet satisfaction of truth detonating behind me. The interview went well. Calm tends to impress people. On the drive back, I didn't think of her, or her father, or the house filled with lies. I thought of oxygen, how easy it was to breathe when no one was standing on your chest. By evening, the messages began. From her father, from distant relatives who finally knew the truth. Their world, the one they tried to cage me in, was collapsing piece by piece. Not because I destroyed it, because I stopped holding it up. I didn't reply, didn't return, didn't care. Some futures don't end. They're escaped. Mine was one of them. And as for theirs, I only needed one final line to close the door completely. They lost everything the moment I chose not to lose myself.